really what you need to make a good maintenance of a product is really the system structure, the engineering structure. So that's what I see from the past, that the machine builder is really focusing on getting that structure, making it easy to maintain and also rebuild and modularize with upgrades and modification to the product. So getting the PLM data around that available and providing some of the structure in the assets is key as we see it.
Hello, everyone out there. This is Jesse again with Dynaway Dialogues. Pleased to host another edition of Dynaway Dialogues, and we're thrilled today to have Jesper Thomsen from Bluestar PLM joining us today. Hello, Jesper. How are you?
Hey, good. Thanks.
Good. Jesper is you're the CEO of Bluestar PLM. You specialize in fully embedded PLM solutions within Microsoft Dynamics, kind of similar to Dynaway. We specialize in asset management within Dynamics. But I know it says here you focus on integrating CAD, PLM, and ERP systems to create seamless data flow, and that's important. We've seen that. So I want to welcome you. You've got lots of experience in the industry, over 20 years, recently named CEO. Welcome, and we're glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite to be a part of this. Looking forward.
Good. Jesper, you've recently stepped into the role of CEO. Tell us a little bit about your history with Bluestar, and what your journey's been like to present day.
Yeah. So actually, I started as an intern 20 something years ago. The Bluestar PLM was having one customer at the time, and then I got boarded, and you can say, wow, what a journey, going from the Acceptor world, which were what Bluestar was, or where Bluestar was integrated first or embedded first, because it's truly written inside of the Dynamics. Microsoft buying Damgard in Denmark, pretty significant for our business. So going to the US with Microsoft, back with Microsoft, was pretty huge for the developer of our company, getting more exposed for US customers. So even today, most of our customers is in US, and you can say me developing in that role, getting more and more responsibility, doing more than 100 implementation projects. You get experience. You need to grow a team. Getting into that business. I have been a COO of Bluestar for the last 4 years. Global implementation, product development as responsibility, and now going to be the CEO on the growth journey. Went from being one of the first employees to 70 people like we are right now, and going even further and doubling that within the next few years. Really, you can say the growth factor there is being a part of the Dynamics community is strong, and especially this last years with Microsoft in the cloud. One of the really key things there for us, being one of the first in the app source for finance operation. That are kind of a long journey, but it have been good and fun.
Yeah. Wow. That's some like a fascinating journey. That's you've seen it from the acorn all the way to the oak tree. It's grown quite a bit. What does the future kind of hold? What do you see as like the next steps, and what do you see as your vision now that you're kind of at the helm?
Yeah, so now it's a lot of the AI, the building in these functionality. Actually, the fun stuff was that when I was at the university, my background is production engineer, but I
Mm-hmm.
went to the IT on the university for a semester, and I learned about machine learning and really what was the AI at that time, right?
Right.
And now 20 years after, that's what we need right now.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
actually a lot of the theory. So it takes some time, and I think it's mature now to get AI and get these functionality in there to get the last percentage out of it, where
Mm-hmm.
we have had the data-driven side of it have been the topic for years, making sure that the system is talking to each other. So now we are mature enough to go into the AI journey. So that's definitely one of the next thing. And then, of course, making sure that all the systems that a company have, like actually our products, right, the EAM together with the PLM,
Mm-hmm.
how do we get these collaborating together with the ERP in the middle there as well? So it's a getting to the one solution, the platform, and we really see that the Dynamics platform and the Microsoft technology platform with all the Azure is strong in that opinion. So growing
Excellent.
in that direction, yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. So I think you mentioned one of the pivot points for your company over the 20 years you've been involved. Are there any other pivot points that you say, you took a leap forward? And do you see this time right now as being one of those pivot points as well?
Yeah. So the cloud. So the first thing was, of course, Microsoft buying it
Mm-hmm.
and the technology change that you get there. That was back in the zeros, right? So
Yep.
so a while ago. And
Yeah.
then the next big one was the cloud for sure, where you can say today 10 years ago, everybody was saying no production company will get their data to the cloud, right? That was what
I
everybody
remember
was
that. Yes.
yeah, that was what everybody was talking
Yeah.
about, that nobody do
Yeah.
it. Today, nobody is talking about it anymore because it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And Microsoft was really good in getting to that you can say that journey. They were pretty good in making sure that the services was available or and better than if you had on-premise system. So
Mm-hmm.
so 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 I feel like right now we are in the co-pilot things that could be really strong for our company and for the engineers, and which is our main users is the design engineers. And if they can save 10, 20, they will not be replacing. That's not what AI is about, but it's more the co-pilot where you can make the employees more efficient
Mm-hmm.
and grow them and do more with less. I think that's the key here.
Hmm. Let me ask you something that's kind of I don't know, tugging at my psyche a little bit. Microsoft is always the leader in in technology and vision. How fast do you think this AI revolution, will sort of take over the average manufacturer out there that you work with? Is this something that's going to happen in 2 years, or 10 years, or 20
It's
years, or what's your take on it?
Yeah, it's difficult to predict, right? Because when I was
Yeah.
at the university 20 years ago, I
Yeah.
thought machine learning, what's the new big thing? But what I see now, and I think the reason why I think it is not that far away is that you start seeing some success stories about it. You
Mm-hmm.
start seeing that you can make some small things that actually can make them more efficient, and that's what we are enabling. But it will be like the cloud journey. It will take the next 5-10 years before we see the full potential of it.
Right.
And then it's getting a natural thing. I know a lot of the engineering processes is something where if you can support them in selecting the right component as some of the product that we have in the field already, it gives a whole set of tools that nobody have in their mind, and suddenly they have them at their fingertip. So I think everybody will embrace it, and of course it's an early adapter right now,
Right.
and it's not getting more and more mature, and also the you can say the investment that Microsoft is doing in this right now will matter, and it will move the things ahead, but it will take some years before we see the full potential of it.
Right. Yeah. Not everyone jumps on kind of the early adoption train as well. So
No.
yeah. Gotcha. Well, let's jump. Jesper, let's jump to PLM. Not everybody probably is a super familiar that's listening to the podcast. Give us the the elevator understanding of what is product lifecycle management. How does it relate to asset management, which this podcast is about?
Yeah. So product lifecycle management is around the product data. The data, especially what we do is from the design. So the design state is preparing everything, going to the approval, and then releasing it to the ERP system for getting manufactured, right? A lot of our customers is machine builders, so they build the machines that you want to end up later in the life cycle to get you can say maintained and which is right in your alley, right?
Right.
So PLM is really embracing that, and there are some trends that we are seeing why it's getting more important than it used to be, and why the connectivity between or the data flow from the PLM into the maintain of the product is getting important. And one of the things that we see in this trend is with rebuilding of machine, sustainability requirements coming into the product, that you need to be able to repair them, you need to be able to adapt to the changing world that we are in today. And in order to do that, you really have to get into control what revisions that you envisioned and you designed it for, so that you can rebuild it later on and also maintain it really. So that's where I see that it's something that everybody have to consider, how they can reuse the data that they already have created. And in the PLM is also where the 3D modeling is. So there is already a 3D model. There is already some systems. Yes, then you go and get it produced in the ERP system, but then you need to end up in the assets, and that assets you need to get under control if you want to maintain it correctly. And I think that's where what the PLM, the data that you get from the PLM is often the right revisions that you have used. But there's also one more thing, that is that what the ERP is optimized for is really for the manufacturing bill of materials, so the manufacturing structure. And really what you need to make a good maintenance of a product is really the system structure, the engineering structure. So that's what I see from the past, that the machine builder is really focusing on getting that structure, making it easy to maintain and also rebuild and modularize with upgrades and modifications to the product. So getting the PLM data around that available and providing some of the structure in the assets is key as we see it.
Right. Yeah, so help me connect the dots there a little bit. So you're building machines or engineering machines in PLM, and then, on the asset management side, we're maintaining machines. Traditionally, these have probably been siloed kind of disciplines. Why bring them together? What efficiencies do we gain?
So I think for our customer that is machine builder, the reason why they go into that is selling more spare parts and getting their you can say service technician giving an advantage that they have the data right available, so they can order the spare parts faster, they can get the service agreement, they can make the cost calculation, and they can get the feedback back to the design engineer. So improve also the feedback of what not to do and making it more maintained, so that you can start designing for maintenance, right? Which is actually something that is pretty valuable for the customer. So there's a lot of money to gain here.
Excellent. Given that PLM and EAM systems, both manage critical lifecycle data, how does that affect cost? Can we be more cost effective pulling those two systems together?
For sure, because you get a lot of that for free, because you already have the structures in place, and also being a part of Dynamics both solutions, tightly integrated or embedded. It's a natural choice to get them collaborating closely together and making very efficient.
Explain to me the alternative. What if someone had a like standalone PLM system? Then how do they do that? Why is a embedded collaborative system better?
Yeah, so if you have the silo, then you have to start making often manually interaction in that flow, because you need to use some Excel spreadsheets, or
Right.
you're in the spreadsheet world, and then you have to do it, or you have to build integrations yourself that you have to maintain, and that's not an easy things. That's one of the things with cloud, right? Getting constantly updates, improvement, and so on means that these integrations have to be maintained. And that's again getting all the data there and getting also the awareness that you have the visibility. It's easy to see. Even the maintaining of the machine, you can see the design, you can see the drawings, you can see the intent. You have the really easy access to these data. And I think that's really reducing the cost and the risk for mistakes. And if you have them in silos, you make mistakes, and it's difficult to handle, really.
Right. So cost is not only affected, accuracy is affected. When you have two different systems.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. So what would you say are the kind of the key components of an effective PLM system? How do you put that together?
So from our side, it is utilizing the 3D data today, getting good workflow and business processes around it, and then also preparing the data to go directly into Dynamics. I think that's the key elements: item bill of material, BOM data, and integration into the 3D CAD. I think that's really important to get the data flowing directly in there.
Good. Yeah. So we've talked about some of the advantages. Let's be fair. Let's talk about some of the challenges. What do you see with your customers? What challenges do they face when they're integrating, an embedded PLM system? How do they overcome those challenges as well?
Yeah, so you can say, of course, the first thing is that you have to decide Dynamics as the ERP system,
Right.
and then you get into implementing the ERP and PLM. that can be a challenges. It's like it's almost everybody in the organization that is affected by this
Mm-hmm.
change, and what we have worked with some of our customer about is starting with the PLM.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, before you start even with any ERP sites, you start with the PLM, because what you get out of that is that you get item bill of material, drawings, revisions. You get the data, the master data. You get
Mm-hmm.
that in place,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore to overcome that humble that you are taking everybody to at the same time, starting with the PLM prepares the data to the ERP implementation, and later on also the service part that you represent, and
Right.
is here.
Yeah. Excellent. Uh, let's get out of the theory world and give me a real example. Give us an example of one of your customers that your system, your implementation process really kind of transformed their business. What what's an example?
So yeah, the typical customer will be machine builder. So
Mm-hmm.
we have some of our case studies with different machine builders, and you can say we can take some things like uh, in Germany we have an particular customer that creates these modular design, configurable design as well. There are a lot of variation in their product lines,
Mm.
um, and they start designing it in Bluestar, getting configuration, getting the quotes, getting the sales. They even have the dynamic CRM coming into the starting point of this journey, and then you get into the PLM, you design it, you modify it to that customer need, you release it to Dynamics, and then you engage it into the service, getting the assets created and so on. And then you have they have 300 field engineers
Mm.
going out to site maintaining these product, uh, and a good relationship with their customers, so they also rebuild the machines.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go back to the flow again. You get to the PLM system, get a refurbishment kit and rebuild kits, getting it produced, sending it to the customer, field engineer, maintaining again, updating the assets with a new structure so that you can maintain the machine. And I think they utilize almost everything that you can say end to end in a product lifecycle. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they have achieved what everyone is hunting, the full cycle of the product.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, so that's wonderful. So you have seen success in integrating asset management and PLM with customers, real world on the feet, on the ground, happening today.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, that's
So
wonderful.
it's cool.
Yeah, so let's transition a little bit to talk about kind of the D365 ecosystem. You're a Microsoft partner. Um,
Yep.
Bluestar PLM, stays aligned with Microsoft's technology and kind of their vision. Um, how how do you ensure, and what's the roadmap for staying up to date with the latest D365 updates? Is that difficult?
So you can say you have to be on your toes
Yeah,
when you are in
yeah.
the Microsoft ecosystem, because there is continuously update going on there, and you can say uh, our product team is right there. We are working very close with Microsoft. Yeah, we have done that for many years, and also here in the cloud journey, being in Seattle, connecting strategic partner this year with Microsoft. Getting a close connection there is important, and yeah, making sure that we are there before the customer needs us
Yeah.
to be.
Dynaway's in kind of the same situation because we have to stay on top of new updates that come out. And, I've sort of imagined the customer trying to do this with an integration, for instance. I can't
Hmm.
imagine how, when that's not your core business and that's not what you're supposed to be doing, you're supposed to be building machines or manufacturing something in our case. If that's not your if that's not your business, I imagine that would be terribly difficult to keep on top of and dedicate resources to. And I've heard horror
Yeah.
stories that companies who've tried it, they get frustrated, and that's kind of why they come to embedded systems like Bluestar PLM and asset management. So I can certainly see
Yeah,
that.
I think that's I see exactly the same thing, right? A lot of the customer that we are engaging with have tried something to get to the route of getting everything tightly working together, right? And there you have ABI connectors and they fail, and then you're down and you get that experience
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
have to be that fast and
yeah.
up in the toe, and you cannot wait for it. So it always come unexpected, and that's kind of what we do. That's what we that's our core business. We do it one time for all customers. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's really the part of them, the journey that we provide, or the solution we provide, is that we make sure
Mm-hmm.
it works. And that's also why it's interesting for Dynaway and Bluestar to collaborate,
Mm-hmm.
because you can say we are getting the full span of it. So I think that's also what is happening right now,
Mm-hmm.
is that a lot of these ISV modules is compatible together. We do it with other ISV partners
Right.
as well, and I think it's what's needed to support the customer better in the future, and not going into the route of creating their own custom solution. That is, one thing is making sure that they work. The other thing is, how do you develop them, right? Because
Right.
if you looked at the Bluestar product 3 years ago, there's a lot more added since, right?
Right.
And it's similar with your
Yeah.
product. They are
Similar. Yep.
continue developing, and you get more. So if you start the journey of creating your own, you get the problems, and you are at a standstill unless that you do something drastic to move it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a tough thing to do on your own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we get the kind of the buzzword for the past 5 years has kind of been digital transformation, right? And yeah, I can see. Yeah, Blue Star is a really allowing companies to to move forward on their digital transformation process. Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure. That's the team
Yeah.
supporting that.
Good. So, what do you think? What do you see as far as the ecosystem, the Dynamics ecosystem, in the next 5 years? What trends are out there, and how do you see Blue Star playing into those trends?
Um, I think it will be even more collaboration between different modules to get it. It can be field service, these kind of integration really,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, strengthen the collaboration between the different areas in that life cycle that we are part of.
Excellent.
And I think the ecosystem is growing,
Yeah.
and there are more and more solutions that you can say complement Dynamics itself, the platform, and yeah, giving some value to the customer that is moving them in the right direction. So
Yeah, I know I'm kind of biased because I'm a Microsoft partner and we're involved in this ecosystem, but it does seem very vibrant, very exciting, growing. Innovation is constantly happening on the Microsoft platform. So I think it's a really good place for an organization to be moving forward. Um, I don't have much to
uh,
compare it with. I'm not in the Oracle ecosystem or the SAP ecosystem, but
no, but
I do think it's a really good um, spot for any organization to invest in.
I agree. And you can see the example with Copilot coming everywhere, right? And you
Hmm.
get, and I think the other thing that you get with the Microsoft platform is that you get the same usability as you have in the Office pack and
Yeah,
you have on SharePoint, right? You
yeah.
get, this is just another Microsoft product that is, it's helping you where
Hmm.
you need to, and
Hmm.
innovation will be there, ready to go.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So let's transition over. We're really excited to have you, Jesper, as a speaker at Dynaway CONNECT this year. Um, and we were talking before the podcast about Greenville, South Carolina, where
Yeah.
the Connect is going to be. Um, Share with us a little bit about what you're going to share with the attendees, what your session is going to be about.
Yeah, I would, of course, some of the trends going on, and then I will also show a little bit about the solution,
Hmm.
so that they can see how it actually work with a customer portal, ordering spare part kits, all the things, how that could be connected directly to the assets, and try to showcase what we've done with our customer in that aspect. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Let me ask you though, this type of conference, of course, I've attended many. I'm sure you've attended many in your
yeah,
professional career. Um, what do customers get out of this kind of event? Do you feel like it's useful for them? What are the benefits to attending something like Connect?
yeah. So I see it as a focused one, because there's a lot of these kind of events that is really broad, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
there is about a lot of things. Here it's really focused on the maintain, the areas around it. There's really good speakers from Microsoft back
Hmm.
and all these kind of things. I think it is something that everybody that attends will learn for and get back to next year as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I see a little bit from the sideline, but
Uh-huh.
also why we are interested in speaking there, making showcase a little bit how we interact into this one. So looking much forward for it.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. Jesper, thanks for joining today. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Thanks for joining again. Please don't remember to like, subscribe, join, whatever platform you're on. Please help us out by clicking that button and supporting us. So until next time, I'm Jesse. Jesper, thanks for joining. We'll see you
Thank you.
next time on Dynaway Dialogues.